Order of business is adoption of the Oversight and Authorization Plan for the 119th Congress. The committee's oversight plan for the 119th Congress demonstrates a deep commitment to ensuring this nation's government is working on behalf of the American people. It maintains our commitment to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars, including engaging with the incoming administration on the President's budget proposal and how it can improve the nation's economic as well as fiscal outlook. As the Chief Tax Writing Committee in all of Congress, we have a responsibility to perform robust oversight of the implementation and enforcement of our tax code in order to ensure it serves the American people. That starts today with a hearing, immediately following these proceedings, on the need to extend the expiring provisions of the 2017 Trump tax cuts. But developing the policy is one thing. We must also protect it from exploitation, particularly by certain tax-exempt organizations and fraudsters. Even in recent years, the IRS has had trouble maintaining its focus on this mission, and instead broke the trust of the American people with politicized leaks and unlawful actions. We look forward to working with the incoming Trump administration to hold that federal agency accountable. Given the vast jurisdiction of this committee over multiple federal agencies and departments, we will need to work closely with the Trump administration to make sure these entities are operating efficiently and effectively and delivering results. This will include collaborating with the newly created Department of Government Efficiency to help clean up agencies, departments, and programs to make them more streamlined, less duplicative, and more responsive to the needs of the American people. Our committee will work to advance better access to quality, affordable care for the millions of America's seniors on Medicare and folks with private health insurance coverage. This includes families who live in rural communities across the country and struggle to find even the most basic healthcare services. We need a pro-patient, pro-innovation healthcare system. This committee achieved historic bipartisan success in reauthorizing and modernizing our child welfare system to better the lives of millions of children and families. We must do more to promote the dignity of work for the sake of the American taxpayer and those in need. We must rid these programs of fraud. We are committed to protecting and strengthening Social Security that will include ensuring the program is responsive to the needs of beneficiaries, that it deploys modern tools to protect against fraud and improper payments, and that it implements the laws Congress has passed properly and in a timely fashion. Finally, we will embrace our constitutional authority over the nation's trade policies to fight for America's workers and businesses, to ensure that existing trade laws and sanctions as well as trade agreements are enforced, particularly for America's farmers and ranchers. And we will combat the unfair trade practices of nations like China that attempt to stack the deck against the American people. There is no question that through this oversight plan, we will deliver for the American people. I'm pleased to recognize the ranking member from Massachusetts, Mr. Neal, for his opening statement.
Thank you, Chairman. Committee Democrats look forward to working with our Republican counterparts to carry out appropriate oversight of laws and programs within the committee's jurisdiction, and also to remind members of this committee that we should not cede an inch in terms of jurisdiction as it relates to our constitutional obligations and responsibility on this committee. And that means for outside forces without portfolio, they're certainly free to make recommendations, but I think the governing principle here ought to remain within the framework of our obligations to the Constitution first. We have no objection to the draft oversight plan and hope that we can maintain a spirit of cooperation in pursuing perhaps one of the most important roles that the House of Representatives embraces, oversight of the executive.
The committee will now proceed to consideration of the Oversight and Authorization Plan for the 119th Congress. Without objection, the measure will be considered as read and open for amendment at any point. At this time, I offer an amendment in the nature of a substitute, which was distributed in advance along with a green sheet explaining it. Without objection, the amendment in the nature of a substitute shall be considered as read, open for amendment at any point, and considered base text for purpose of amendment. Does anyone wish to strike the last word?
No.
See none. Are there any amendments to the Oversight and Authorization Plan? Seeing none, the question is on the adoption of the amendment in the nature of a substitute. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes?
Those opposed, no. In the opinion